Hi, I have a quick announcement before we dive into today's episode. I've opened a few new spots for my 90-day program called the Inner Oasis, designed to help high-achieving women who are stuck in chronic stress and burnout to retrain their nervous system so that calm, sleep, and balance become their default, not a temporary break. I will be using a unique blend of sound healing, energy healing, and journaling. So if this is something you want support with, you can book a call at www.inneroasis.org or use the link in the description to get your personal 90-day recovery plan for free. Now, let's get into today's episode with my next guest. Hi, Nancy. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you, Veronica.
Oh, how are you today?
Excellent. Thank you.
Today we're going to talk about wealth and health and women. Okay. One of my favorite subjects. Love it.
Perfect.
So first question I have for you. So what inspired you to create what you do right now, the Woman Worth Wellness? And what did you think people really need? I mean, women really needed that in 1994.
Correct. That was when I started into the wealth management business. I started in 1992. So you start with a great company. They have a great training program. You've got all your licenses. And they said, okay, Nancy, all systems are go. The only problem is you don't have any clients. You've got to go find your own clients. And it's like, oh my goodness. Anyway, as part of the training program, they said, who you want to work with are people with whom you will add tremendous value to their lives going forward, because you've got all the credentials, you've got the expertise, and really what you want to do is understand their situation and their aspirations so that you can really, really make the most of it from a total wealth plan. So that's how I got started.
Interesting. So you have to go and find your people you can bring value, people you align with.
Right.
How did you do? Because in 1994, it must have been not that easy. We didn't have social media.
No,
Did
not
you
at
have
all.
to?
No,
Did you do
completely,
like newsletter? Or?
completely different, completely different.
Yeah.
And as I got started, there was an investment company who was realizing as well that women were a huge opportunity. Women in the 90s were just starting to earn significant amounts of money on their own. And they were starting to pay attention to, okay, how do I put this all together and make the most of it? So there was a tremendous curiosity by women on what this is all about and how do I make it work for me? And so really, I just hit the sweet spot. So I took this investment company's marketing materials, and then what I did was I curated an event around it at a special venue. Did it the first Saturday in November, which is always a good time, I think, because it's when everybody's sort of underway back to school. It's after Halloween and it's before Christmas. And so I did my marketing. I did some advertising and connected with a few people I knew. And I had over 150 women who came. It was incredible. So now I've got 150 contacts to follow up with to talk about, okay, what is your situation and how can I help you? And through that process, that's when I realized that women have a disproportionate amount of responsibility for their family's health and well-being. And it's like every home, every mom is the nurse practitioner on site. And I thought, how much knowledge do women have about how to care for others? You know, I've got knowledge myself and I know who to reach out to. But that's when I started to partner with not-for-profit health-related organizations focusing on women's health. So that's where the twinning of health and wealth came from, because we know if you don't have your health, you're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. And many women, they put everyone else first, right?
Right.
So you said that stepping up to your own need first is essential, not selfish. I like that.
Exactly. No, women never ever want to be called selfish. That's the worst thing you can call a woman. It's like, she's so selfish. Well, guess what? Women want to help everybody else. And so the best way you can help more people and do more for them is when you are the best that you can be. So that's why focusing on your own health and wellness, not just today, but for the future. How do I stay healthy? What do I need to do today in order to build my good health for the future? And then, of course, you can work with others and help them.
So what do you do? You put events together when you okay, when you present different way to stay healthy and be independent?
Yes. And worked with a lot of these not for profit health related organizations. During the 90s, that was also a time when women decided they wanted to learn how to play golf because lots of business deals were done on the golf course, and women said, okay, I want to do business that way too. So in Toronto, we have this fabulous hospital called Women's College Hospital, and over 100 years old. Of course, all they do is focus on women's health, research programs, treatments, the works. So I started their first golf tournament in 1994 with 32 golfers. And 3 years later, in 1997, we had 144 golfers, which is a full complement. So, I really twinned the two and brought these organizations or brought my clients to the attention of these organizations who were more than happy to share their knowledge and programs with interested people.
Yeah. Because you emphasize that health and wealth are
Right,
inseparable.
right, exactly.
And that's right. Yeah, it's true.
Mhm.
Especially with golf is a very good way to be able to exercise and talk business at the same time. Yeah,
Right,
I'm sure there's a lot of deal have been done at this moment.
on the golf course.
Um, and how does economic independence change women's sense of power? That they change their choice and they give them a voice at the table.
Well, it's a whole building process that begins with the right mindset. You really have to believe, first of all, that you're worthy of taking in all of this information and making it work for you. And that takes an attitude of curiosity and determination that I'm going to make this work for me. And that pertains to both your health and your wealth. Once you start working with a trusted wealth advisor, and you need to shop very carefully to make sure that you've got someone who's got all the credentials and the expertise. But more importantly, you want somebody who has your back. You want somebody who's going to go to bat for you and bring everything that they know and um, can do to your attention so that it's enhancing your well being going forward. For example, if you have a total wealth plan that does not anticipate health related challenges, you don't have a total wealth plan because it isn't just about setting aside funds for retirement and buying, what's the stock that I need to invest in today that's going to double in 5 years. You have to that wealth advisor needs to present you with some what if scenarios. What if you're diagnosed with breast cancer? How is that going to impact your whole financial scenario? Do you have benefits at work that are going to cover you while you take time away from work to look after yourself? What about premature disability? What about premature death? All of these aspects are part of a total wealth plan. And we know increasingly so that we cannot be sick. We can't afford to be sick. It's too expensive to be sick. So that's why you want to make your health the first priority of all, and then start focusing on your overall wealth plan.
Yeah, because you speak often also about connection between self-worth and net worth. So what do you mean by that?
Well, when I did these various events with health related organizations, I would charge them a nominal amount like $35 or $50. And that amount then is a deduction from your tax return. So by contributing charitably, you're saving on your taxes. And you know that more often than not, when you're in a position to give or to share, the beneficiary of that gift is you because you feel fabulous that you're able to share your money, share your time, share your expertise, and it all comes back to you. So the net worth is an enhancement from a dollars and cents standpoint. The self worth comes from just taking that positive action to give back, pay it forward, help somebody else. All definitely, definitely worthy.
Yeah, it's a good way to see things. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, and here we are, the brand is 32 years old this year, 1994 to 2026. And now that charitable giving has morphed into women's philanthropy and legacy planning because women are earning a whole lot more than they ever were in the 90s. But now they're starting to inherit wealth from their parents with a whole lot more to come from their partner, assuming their partner is male, because women's life expectancy is longer than men's. So, do women really understand and appreciate the new power opportunity they have with that stewardship of their wealth?
Well, talking about parents, I read on your website that your mother was a trailblazer and a major influence on you on your work. So, yeah, what?
And she was the one that influenced me about getting health as the priority first, because she used to say, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And
It's
it's
true.
so true, and we
Mm,
take all for granted.
we
We
do.
get up in the morning and we just go, go, go and expect our bodies to, get us where we wanna go until they don't, until something stops us. So that's why you need to have an appreciation for your body and all the stress you put on it. First, look after it, look after yourself, and then away you go. Do everything you wanna do and do it with really, really positive impact.
That's true. Yeah, we never pay attention until something happen, right? So
Mhm.
to always be prepared. What kind of challenge like boomers and their daughters face today when it comes to wellness, money, purpose?
The works these days, stress is a huge factor. We know that the world is inside out and upside down, and even though we try to mind our own business and get on with our day, it's just kind of like an overriding cloud. And so your mental health is becoming more important all the time, really important. And that's why paying attention to just simple things like volunteering, giving back to somebody else, that has you focusing on something more than yourself. I love to say that you give more than you take. And once you start into that mode of giving, then again it takes the focus away from all the stressors that could be in your life. And for boomers, they then become role models to their daughters. If their daughters see this is the way you're bringing joy and happiness into your existence by paying it forward and giving more than you take, then that starts to become a role model for them.
And it feels good also when you give back, when you
Yeah,
volunteer.
right. And you don't have to have a whole pile of money to give back.
Yeah.
The other day I saw a thing on Facebook that said, if you see somebody without a smile, give them one of yours.
Hmm.
How simple is
Yeah,
that?
it's
How
free.
simple is that? So simple.
Yeah,
So simple.
a few months. No, I think it was last year already. Yeah, last year some friends and our daughters, we all volunteered to put together boxes for newborn babies.
Wonderful.
So yeah, we put so it was different boys and girls, and we have to put together, donation from people, and we spent like 2 hours there with the kids and with our
Wonderful.
daughters. And they volunteer and they felt good. We felt good. We did a good. It was for a good cause. It felt really, really good. It was easy. It
I
was
know, and
easy to me.
everybody's smiling. The other
Yeah,
point that you're making is that whole, um, value of community. Coming together in a group, you
yeah,
just leverage that up to a much higher level, much higher level.
I love
Community
it.
makes a big, big difference. You know that one Yeah, and one of the diseases as people age, I think in the UK, they have a special minister who's in charge of this, is loneliness, because people haven't stayed connected in community. Families are all over the place, so you can't count on family, but there are lots of other people in similar situations to you who would love for you to spend time with them and help make sure that they're not lonely. And in return, you're minimizing your own um, risk of becoming lonely.
You can just die from loneliness. It will
Yeah,
just
yeah,
kill you. People really realize that during COVID. Oh my God, people really realize how being lonely is something serious. Yeah. So how can women redefine success so it includes joy, generosity, vitality, confidence, and not just financial achievement?
well, you have to spend time talking to yourself. because we spend a lot of time looking at what other people are doing, and we think we'd like to have some of that and some of this. Well, just focus on your own reality and dig deeper into your own reality in terms of who am I and what is important to me and how can I truly bring some happiness into my life? What are some things that I can do? And I suggest that you just do that in your morning coffee time. When you get up in the morning, just kind of take some extra breaths for yourself. And how can I stay healthy? How can I stay healthy today and going forward? What would make me really happy today? What can I do that will bring happiness into my life? And that's why this giving back, I think, is a huge opportunity. The other thing that I suggest is that you live your life like a split screen. So when the negatives pop up, you just fade them to black. Obviously, you've got to deal with them, but don't dwell on them. Just don't dwell on them. Find a way to move them over here and default to something that's very positive. And then once you focus on something that's positive, think about how you can make that positive even stronger. And the more you build on strengths and positivity, the more they'll come your way. You're really training your brain. And those negatives, you'll train yourself on how to disperse them quickly.
Yeah, I have so many conversations with people, different guests about retraining your brain and
Right.
meditate, just go outside, walk a little bit and yeah, acknowledge, what's wrong in your life, but don't dwell on it. Yeah, don't stay
No,
on it.
not at all. Fade to
It's
black.
not gonna
Fade
do
to black.
anything.
No,
Yeah.
fade to
That's
black.
a good one.
Yeah, split
A split
screen. We all
screen.
know
Yeah,
fade to black. Bye. See ya.
that's
See
another
ya.
one.
And then when something terrific has happened, as you head into your day, more often than not, it doesn't unfold seamlessly. You'll be heading towards something and then something else pops up, or that doesn't work out the way you expected it to. But if you then redirect and something else happens that's even more positive, then give yourself credit. Stop for a minute and just say, good job. Good job. That was terrific. You didn't let that get you down. Give yourself the credit. Look in the mirror and say, good job. My logo for Women Worth and Wellness is you put your arms way up in the air.
Mhm.
It's like, yes, yes. So do that. Do that. And it'll pay dividends.
So do you organize a different event during the month, during the year? Just people
Yes.
come to your events with the different other company for wellness?
Yes. This year, we're offering a whole series. We're
Okay.
having two women speak each month
Mm,
virtually.
that's
And
good.
these are accomplished women that I have known. And we're talking about them sharing their pearls of wisdom. So, how I define an accomplished woman is some woman that's already achieved quite a bit, but a woman that is continually reaching to continually make a difference. So they haven't stopped yet. I mean, if we capture what has happened so far with them, we get a story. But part of that story is, okay, what are you reaching for now? What are your aspirations? And it's amazing what a lot of women are doing. I mean, they're not standing still and letting the moss grow over their toes. They are onward and upward to keep on making a difference. So I'm
Okay.
really looking forward to that speaker series. And we're having two a month virtually. And then in December, we're going to have a one-day in-person event that I'm calling Crescendo. So it's like the symphony orchestra, this instrument plays and then this one and then this one. And then at the end, we find a way to bring it all together. And it will just be amazing because we'll talk about health and wealth, net worth and self worth, philanthropy and legacy planning. And once you bring it all together, then you've got a great launch for 2027. We know that time goes by like a
I
frisbee
know.
toss, like it just flies by before you know it, it's a new year again. And so this year, my number one word is amplify. I want to amplify the Women Worth and Wellness brand and everything that it is. And how I will do that is by profiling all these accomplished women and them sharing their pearls of wisdom.
Because you encourage women to become daring and caring leaders.
Right.
So what that would be like, look like in
Stepping
everyday
out and
life.
stepping up.
Yeah.
Women often they don't think they're worthy of stepping out and stepping up. But everybody has a unique ability. And so the best thing that you can do is put that unique ability out there for the benefit of others, and be proud of yourself when you do it and enjoy doing it. It's amazing the joy that comes from stepping out and doing something. And if it doesn't work, then keep going. We used to say, go big or go home. Now I say, go big and keep going. Keep going.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Keep going.
So if today a woman is listening and she's really successful, but on the outside, but she feels very depleted in the inside, what would be the first step you invite her to take?
Well, she's feeling that she's not worthy.
That's
It
true.
is an internal challenge that she's having with herself. She doesn't believe that she's worthy of pursuing a lot of the things that she wants and that she is capable of going after. So always know that you're worthy. If Taylor Swift would agree to go on a tour with me, it would be a worthy tour. It would be a worthy tour. We would tour the world and it would be a worthy, 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 worthy message.
Well, anything she touches, becomes gold. So I'm sure it would be.
Yes. Yeah, no, she's a gem. She's a gem. But a lot of that came from her bringing her uniqueness forward and
Hmm.
having the courage to do it. And so that's the aspect of her success that's worth role modeling.
Yeah. And she works very hard also.
She does
So
work really, really hard.
it's a work
And
machine.
she looks after people that
Yeah,
help her.
that's true.
So
Yeah.
all great attributes for sure.
Is there anything else you want to add? Maybe something I didn't ask?
I just want people to know that their
Yeah.
life is a treasure. Not everybody has the benefits that we do. We all think that we should have more, but really what you have is already significant. So really treasure your life and know that it's your number one asset. So look after it to the very, very best you possibly can. And work with other people to help you achieve everything that you can. I often say that even dentists don't do their own dental work. So don't try to figure this stuff out for yourself. Work with other people and get it out of your head with dialogue with somebody else, because if you're just going in circles in your own head, sometimes you're not getting any traction. So
Yeah.
work with trusted advisors.
And I saw for your events, you also have a membership. So is it that something you just pay for all the events during the year? Or is
Yes.
it something
This
else?
this
Yeah.
speaker series, people register for them and pay for them. Each month is $50, or you can
Okay.
buy the whole series for $500, which includes the one-day event in December, which will be priced separately at $400. And
I like
then
that word, legacy planning. I really like that word.
yeah.
Because as women, we don't really think about that, to be
No.
honest.
No.
It's like a man thing. Oh, it's my legacy, I'm going to plan for my kids. But
Yeah.
it's true, as women, we don't really think about that.
Right. And
And we
that's
should.
why, yep, make the plans. Imagine
Yeah.
it's the day after you're gone. What does your world look like? And there are all sorts of things you can do. And that's why I work with a trusted advisor to help you come up with what would be ideal for you in terms of what you want and what you have and who you want to direct it to. All those aspects are what a great wealth advisor will help you with.
Well, Nancy, thank you very much for coming. It was a very
You're welcome.
inspired, yeah, conversation, because a lot of women, we don't think about that too much. We're always with the kid, the work, the husband, the family, everything. But you have to take care first a bit of yourself to take care of everybody else, right? So,
Exactly. And know that you're worthy. Know that you are
yeah,
worthy and get advice from others and they'll help you put it all together. And that's when you will feel fabulous. You really will feel fabulous.
yeah. Don't be afraid to ask for support and advices.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome, my dear.
And all the best for all the talk that you're going to have
Thank
this
you.
year.
And same way to you. Same way for you.
Thank you.